Good to see you, Jeffrey.
Hello, Liz. Thanks for having me on today.
You're a Boston small business owner, Jeffrey. Can you tell us what happened?
Yes, around 11:30 yesterday morning, a gentleman walked into our office, came in through the back initially, and saw one of my service people, Brian Carpenter, who's our service manager, and said, "Are you people hiring?" So he said, "We sure are. Why don't you go around the front and see Jeff, and he'll be able to talk to you." So the fellow walked around the front of the building, walked in, saw my wife at the front desk, she's our CFO, and said, "Are you hiring here today?" And she said, "Just a minute, I'll get Jeff for you." And she reached for me, and I said, "Sure, Bev, get me a application, and let's go inside." I introduced myself to this fellow. He introduced himself to me. He was very nicely dressed, clean-shaven, seemed to have lots of energy, but not fidgety in any way or not sweaty hands when I shook his hand. And we went into my office and started to have a conversation.
You know, Jeffrey, he apparently is wanted for assaulting a police officer. What tipped you off that he might be a bad guy?
Well, there was a lot of police activity in our area, which we don't usually have. There were sirens going off all over the place. There were several helicopters that we could hear in the air. We saw police dogs walking by the window. And when that happened, he got up from the chair and he looked outside to see what was going on. And I said, "Don't worry about what's going on out there. Just come on back and sit down and we'll chat." And he said, "Well, I just want to see what's going on out there." I said, "Well, just come on and sit down." With that, my service manager, who had sent him over to me originally, came over to my door and said, "Why don't you come outside here with me for a minute to me?"
Wow, what a story. Jeffrey, you caught a bad guy. I know you probably didn't expect that, you or your wife, Jeffrey, but you know what? You kept others safe, and we really appreciate you coming on telling the story. Thanks, Jeffrey Maron. Small business owner, Boston, caught a bad guy. Thanks, Jeffrey.